Good morning, everyone. Today I wanted to take time to show you how to create a HIPAA compliant medical form in our system. This would be very similar to using JotForm or Typeform to create a questionnaire for the intake of a patient. In order to do that, there's a couple features in our platform that allow you to process patients' information that way. If you click on Sites and look on the top, there's two options here. There's Forms and there's Surveys. Forms are used as static forms where you would use a single page and a patient would use it to register information like a contact form or a form to request a book or something like that. You do not use forms to create that patient intake workflow. You would use surveys to create a patient intake workflow. This is the similar functionality to JotForm or other survey form creators. So what you'll do first is you'll come to Builder and you will create a survey. You'll click Add Survey and you can make the survey whatever you want it to be called, and you can name each slide so that you can identify the necessary steps. So let's call this Initial Patient Information. You can then choose what fields you want to assign to that form. So normally you would put in the name. That's pretty standard. You would do a name, first name, last name. Email is important because an email will allow you to connect any of these answers to the patient's record in our system. So this is very important that you always include an email field and always leave it as required. You could use phone if you want or any other information that's necessary. So let's say a patient fills out this information, they'll click next and they'll go to the next slide. Now here is where you can do more customizations for the specific workflow. So let's say that you want to ask patients about what symptoms they're experiencing or what they want to book an appointment for or whatever you want to ask them questions about. What you would do is you would come to custom fields and you would create your custom menu. So here you'll click Add Custom Field, and let's say we want to make it a checkbox. And we'll ask them some questions, right? We'll call this, what is your reason for booking an appointment? And obviously you could ask anything, but what is your reason for booking an appointment? And we're going to put this into patient health information, and you could list here what the details of the specific details of the patient's request are. So you could say something like trouble breathing or pain or heart problems or flu, whatever it is. You make a whole bunch of options and you'll click Save. And then you can drag this into the survey. So now you have a section where a patient would answer that question. You could do as many options as you want. Now watch the functionality here. We'll make a new slide, and we're going to call this slide we'll call this one breathing. Then we're going to do another slide. We'll call this one heart. I think you get the message. We're making a slide for each one of these conditions. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back up top here, and we're going to do conditional formatting of this slide. So we'll say logic. If they choose breathing, it's going to go to the breathing slide. If they choose, heart problems, it's going to go to the heart slide. And you can make a slide for each one of these conditions. And then you could ask further questions, right? So you could ask something like, we'll add a custom field and we can ask a question that says something like, describe the heart or describe the breathing problems you are having. and we'll put it in patient health information, and we'll hit save, and we'll put this in the breathing slide. You could add as many things as you want here. Information on what the patient is, current treatments they've experienced, anything. Input vitals that they know, anything that you want, and build all of these conditional formatting workflows off of it so that by the time you get to the final step, you'll go through however long you want your survey to be. Then you get to this final step, this final set of slides. And if you want to add standard fields to this, you can. If you want to have people fill out one of these CAPTCHA forms, you can. If you want people to do a signature, you can. Anything that you want, you can add to this final step. And then you can click Save Survey, and this survey can be embedded into your website. If you host your website in our platform, then you can simply add this into the website builder. If you have your website on a different platform, on WordPress or anywhere, here, obviously, you can customize all of the details that you want. Give them the ability to do back buttons, any details you want. You can upload an image. So if you wanted to include your logo on top of the survey, you can. What you can do then is you would click Save Survey, Integrate Survey, and here is the embed code where you can just embed this into any section of your website that you want. Now, if you have a link, you can just share the link as well. And you see, here's the workflow of this survey. So you would type in the information and hit next and see, watch what happens. If I click trouble breathing, it will take me to that breathing survey. And when I hit submit, it will just thank me for taking time to complete it. Or you could take them to another page. One of the things that I think is really helpful is here where it says on submit, you could actually do open URL, and you could put in a URL to maybe your appointment booking funnel, where the next step would be now book an appointment with us. So you have the patient intake form, and then it would take them to the step where they would book an appointment. So you could include this survey in a funnel, or you could do it as a standalone form on your website. But this is a really powerful tool. And again, it is a HIPAA compliant platform. So therefore, this would directly be able to replace your usage of JotForm in any of your workflows.